Hello, Sumit. You're welcome once again to my channel. I'm so glad to have you back. So these are the horizontal parameters we'll be needing. Then I'll be starting with the front block pattern. So I'm going to mark the shoulder line, which is 7.5 inches, and then I'll mark the neck width, 3 inches. I'll go ahead to mark the shoulder slope, which is 1.5 inches. Then I'll connect the lines. Now I have a tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice block, so please, it's already showing on the screen. Then I'm going to transfer what I have on the shoulder line to that bust line, and then I'll be marking the dart line. To get the dart line, I usually divide the waistline by 4. So in this case, I'm marking out 3.5 inches, okay? Then I'll connect each of the dots by drawing a straight line. So I'll be going ahead now to connect the armhole lines together. Like I said, I'm drafting the front bodice first. Then the bust measurements is 34 divided by 4. So I've marked out the results, and then I'm transferring that to the bust point as well. Then for the under bust I divided the measurement by 4, and then I marked it out. And then for the waistline, I'm also doing the same thing. So I'll be connecting the lines just like I'm doing. Okay, you can see that I connected from the bust line to the waistline like that. Then I did another connection again. Now the reason why I did this is to get the distance, the remaining, what I have left on the under bust. So the portion I have left is what I will divide. Can you see? So the portion I have left is what I will divide, and that is what I will portion on the dot line, and this will give me the bust tightening. Do you understand? You need to watch this all over again so that you can understand it. So the portion that I got on the difference I got is what I'll measure out on the dot line. I'll measure it from the under bust. I'll divide the result I got by 2, and then divide it on equal halves on each of the dot line, and then I'll run it down from there to the waistline, then to the hip line. Okay, so I'm just connecting each now with a straight line. Now what the next thing I'll do now is to connect that point to the bust point. I'll be connecting it to the bust point. Now for a very busted client, you would need to come down at that bust point by 1 inches before you connect those dart legs. Okay, but for some, like just like I'm showing you, you have to come down by 1 inches before you connect your dart legs. But if your client is not busty, like in this case, the bust line is just 34, this person is not busty, I'll just connect it straight to the bust point. So the reason for doing that for a busty client is to give allowance for the is to give allowance for the bust, so that it won't be too tight for the bust. Okay, now that I've done that, be um I'll be connecting my lines, but before that, I'm just trying to go over it again. Remember that the remaining portion you have at that under bust line is what you will divide, and then you allocate it each on the dart legs. Okay, so in this case I got one quarter, then I divided one quarter, I divided that by 2, then I portioned it on each of the dart legs. And the next thing to do is to get the shoulder dart. Now I'm drafting the shoulder dart for this pattern, so I'm going to have divide what I have left on the shoulder line there. I'll divide that by 2. I'll divide that by 2, and then draw a straight line from that point to the bust point. Do you understand? From that point to the from that point to the bust point, I will draw a straight line. Now, on each of the line, I'm going to mark half an inch on each of the line. Okay, I'll draw half an inch on each of the line and then connect it to the bust point again to create a dart leg. Now the reason for this is just to create to make your shoulder line more fitted. Okay, although some people don't do that, but if you do this, it's going to remove that bulge from your shoulder line and then gives you a perfect fitting. So the next thing now is that I will transfer the 1 inch I've removed. I will transfer it back. So whatever measurement you remove from your draft, you need to transfer it back to your pattern so that you will still have your exact measurement. Now I'm going to add what I have there. I will add the allowance back to the bust line. By the time I cut those dart legs away, my measurement will reduce. So whatever I'm cutting away, I'm going to add it back to my measurement. So that's what I'm trying to do now, so that I can redraw my pattern. So for that point, I just want to return the darts. I'll be removing. I'll return that back, and then for the bust line too, I think I have about half an inch. I'll return it back as well, and then I'll draw a straight line. You need to do this, if not your measurement will not be correct. Okay, so that's one of the trick. Then I'll redraw my shoulder line. Just want to confirm if my shoulder slope is still 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to redraw my shoulder line. You can see, and you see that. So the next thing now is to draft the arm curve. I'll be drafting the arm curve now. So I'll just divide what I have there by 2. I divide that by 2, get the midpoint, and then from that midpoint, I'll be coming in by 0.75 inches. For someone who is slim or who is not busty, 0.75 inches. But for a busty clients, please, 0.5 inches is enough. So with that, I'll connect the lines together to get the armhole curve. So you can use your curve rule here, but most times I just use my free. I just curve with my hand. By the time you get used to this, most times you might not even need your curve rule. Like I always say, my videos are practice makes perfect. So I'm going ahead now to return um all the measurement I've taken out on the dart leg. So I'm going to return them again. So I have almost like 1/4. So I'm returning that back to each of my measurements. So I'll be connecting my new line now. I'll be connecting my new lines now. So you just have to, drafting a basic bustier is very, very simple. Just make sure that your measurements are correct, so that by the time you transfer this to your fabric, you don't have to worry about your measurement not being correct. Okay, so just make sure you confirm all your measurements, and whatever measurement you're taking out for your bust tightening and all that, make sure you return it to your measurements, to you return it to what you've measured, so that you have all your measurements on point. So I could decide to make this a straight line to the hip, to the hip line, or you can make it flare. This is optional, but because of the style I'll be making with this pattern, it's going to be a free gown. So that is why I'm making it a free. I just did that to the hip line. So I'm just trying to confirm my measurements here. Okay, so like I said, whatever you remove, you have to return to your final measurement. So I'll be cutting this out now, and then the front block is ready. So like I said, I have a video on how to draft a basic block front and back block, please, the video will be displaying on the screen right now, or the link will be in the description below. Please do well to watch it so that you can understand how to draft a basic bodice block. Then this is the final pattern for the front block. Now I'll be going ahead to draft the back block, so I'm just marking out all my horizontal lines. Okay, now I'll be starting with the shoulder line. The shoulder line the same way as we drafted for the front line. The difference is just that the shoulder slope will be 1 inch, not 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'll be joining the shoulder slope to the neckline. Then I'll transfer what I have there to the bust line so as to get the armhole line. So I'm marking the dart line now, 3.5 inches. Like I said, to get your dart line, divide your round waist measurement by 4. So I'm joining the lines together. So then you also need to remember that the half length for the back will be shorter than the half length for the front. Okay, so I'm using the true half length for the back now. All right. Then on the bust line at the back, you need to come down by 1 inch. Come down by 1 inch because that is where you will connect the dart line to. Then on each of the dart line, I'll be marking half an inch on each side. Okay, that's the dart I will remove. So I'll be removing a total of 1 inch dart. So I'll connect that now, just like I'm doing it. Okay. Then the next thing is to connect the dart legs to that point, that new point I came down from by 1 inch. All right. Now I'll also create the shoulder dart. I'll divide what I have there by 2 inches. Then I'll join it there by a straight line. Then I'm marking half an inch on both sides, 0.5 inches on both sides. Then I'll create a dart leg just like I did for the front pattern. Okay, so always remember that whatever that you removed or whatever measurements you are removing, you have to return it to what you have on ground so that your measurements will be the same. So I'm just redrawing the shoulder slope. Please don't mind the dog barking at the background, okay? All right, then I'm just trying to return what I have there. So like I always say, practice makes perfect. Please try as much as possible to practice yours and let me know in the comment section how this method, how well you got your own. So please do well to watch all my videos on how to draft. I have series of videos on drafting on my channel, and I'm also starting a new series on how to start a ready to wear. So if you want to go into ready to wear, please do well to watch those videos. Okay, now I want to draft the armhole curve, so I've divided that by 2. Then I'm coming in by 0.5 inches. Remember, for the front block, we came in by 0.75 inches. And I said for a busty client, you just come in by 0.5, okay? So for the back pattern, you just come in by 0.5 inches and then you connect the points to create the armhole curve. Now, the next thing is to measure my waist measurement. Remember that I'll be returning what I removed to the waist measurement, and then I'm joining that, and then I will join my lines together. And then from there, since it's a flare gown, I'm also going to, just draw that line to the M line. Okay, so I just want to confirm if my flare is the same, if the X's I have they're the same as what I drafted on the front bodice. And in this case, I need to readjust my lines. So that is what I want to correct now. So you can always achieve anything you set your mind to do, okay? Just start it. Once there is a will, there is always a way. All right, so I'll come in by half an inch on the waistline, okay, on the midline. Then I'll connect that to the hip and then connect it to the armhole line. This is to reduce the bulge, to remove any bulge at your back midpoint. Okay, then I'll also return what I removed, the half an inch. I'll return it to the waistline. So I'm just trying to reconnect the lines, and that is all on how to draft a basic bustier. It is so simple to do, and then I'm going to cut this out. It is as simple as ABC. There's something about drafting. If you don't start it, you won't know how easy it is to make. So thank you so much for watching till this end, and I appreciate everybody who has subscribed. Please, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do. This will encourage me more. All right, and please try and share this video so that others can also get to see this video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And do not forget, okay, to practice. Like I say, practice makes perfect. And when you do, drop yours in the comment section. All right. Bye.